Sup. Ah, okay. Ball. Yeah, lower the volume of the music a bit. Okay, so we're gonna start off with 50s and move up to hundreds after a few games, probably. Yeah. Okay. Why the table is not visible though? Okay, it is. If somebody would say hi in the chat, that would be lovely. As always, guys, ask me any questions you want. I'll gladly answer them. Okay. Let's open up from the button against fish and the big blind and a reg on the small. Probably a fish. I'm not sure. His VPIP from the button is 50%, which is really high. And he limped once and even 3x twice from the button, so not really sure, but most likely a fish. Okay, stop tanking. Let's play. Gaddis Nick. Hey man. Hey. Fist bump back. Oh. I skipped last stream because the weather was so nice. I didn't expect any people to join. Hey, I cannot pronounce your name. Like, I have no idea how to say it. VQR1S or Virus, I have no idea. Hello from the stream reg once again. You never miss a stream. I love that. Not even once. Oh shit. Really hoped to get a heads up against the fish, but it seems that won't be the case. Okay, let's jam. Hopefully he folds and he calls. Of course he's calling, but okay, we got the best scenario. We're slightly ahead, which is lovely. And we're drawing it out. Okay, let's play another one. Okay, we got one reg, one fish again, which is nice. Want to warm up a bit before playing hundreds because probably we'll see 2 reg games only there, and I'm usually quite distracted while playing during the stream. I mean, I could do like other streamers do, like they answer questions only after finishing the tables or so, but I prefer to engage with people during the game itself. It definitely lowers my edge, even though I'm playing one table, but still, it's quite distracting. Okay, again, this shitty song in the playlist, I really hate it. If someone would give me a nice playlist on Epidemic Sound, that would be lovely, but I doubt that a lot of people use it. Because who likes to listen to uncopyrighted music on their free time? Yeah, just like that. Like which one? The first one, VQRS1. Okay, he 3-bets quite often, but there's such a huge sizing, and usually they do it like they overplay it with literally like off-suited aces, which I'm not a big fan of, and the guy on the button opened as well. If I had ace-jack, I would probably jam, but now it's a bit tricky. I don't think it's making me money, even though he's definitely overplaying his range. So this is a range c-bet. I'll bet at least one street. We got it through, which is nice. Okay, it's not playing too wide from the small blind, so I'll check back instead of ISOing. Okay, he checks. We'll start bluffing right away. We'll see how that goes. Okay, we hit a straight, which is absolutely lovely. I don't think we need to use such a big sizing here. Even though we have the lower straights, I think they're afraid of flushes quite often. Okay, nice. What is a crush chippy in 5S and 10S? It depends on which side you're playing, right? I cannot give you the exact numbers on GG because I'm not really aware, but I saw some people have like 20 chippy in 10s. I'm not sure if that's a complete crush or not, but I know that it's definitely more than beatable. On Venomax, it would probably be on 10S. I don't know, like 65 maybe a bit more. I think that's realistic, and probably above 70 at least on 5S. I'm not really aware, but yeah, on 10S, I mean, maybe like to consider it a crush, yeah, 60 and above. 60 and above, I probably think. Yeah, anything below that is probably okay, as long as you have at least 50 on 10S, or at least 48 or so, you should be fine. But if you have 48 or so, you'll only be making money post rakeback, right? Only from rakeback. Okay, so he donks, which is definitely his board. I don't like it, but I'll call. He checks back. I'll try to bet for thin value. He raises me right away. Of course, we're folding here, but VQR1S. Okay, something like that, but basically my name is Vakaitis, and somehow I managed to think of this name. Okay, makes sense. Okay, let's check back. A lot of people would use creative ways to think of their nicknames. Mine is because I'm going to the toilet quite often, and that's the only reason. I have some backdoors that I don't want to fold them, and if he raises, so I'll check back one street. It's quite hard to represent this range after I check back. I'll check once more. Hopefully we get some sort of... This is a really bad run out for us, so we'll have to fold. We didn't get any backdoors or any high cards that we can represent. Okay, we're dominating him, which is nice. A jack, a 9, sadly. Yeah, guys, people who joined in just now, feel free to ask me any questions, keep me engaged. About the school, about the pool, about poker, about life, whatever you want. Okay, the same guy. Started to think he might be a bad reg, but I really doubt it. He's more likely a fish that watches streams or whatever, but... And yeah, last month finally I got to Red Diamond 2 as well, which is nice. Finally I can play 100S in peace. Okay, so he just jams. This is a call, but... What? Okay, so he's a fish, that's for sure. But... yeah. Definitely did not expect that. Like, usually you would... Most of the time it's a flip, right? But this guy is crazy. Usually you can see like ace-9s, pocket pairs or whatever, and it's quite a profitable call or break-even call. You can say that it's more profitable to shove, but his stats show that he's shoving quite wide, so it's like, okay, maybe we'll see random. But yeah, wow. I mean, with a suited king queen, it's definitely a no-brainer call. Off-suited, I think I can let go. But yeah, okay, we got 2 regs. Okay, let's limp. bet. I can check as well. Okay, we got king, which is lovely. Let's bet. Continue betting. He can call with a deuce for sure. I'm only representing an ace basically, or a king. There are some queen jacks as well in my limping range, but not that many, so not perfect. What chip V is good in 25 and how much it is realistic to make it in Winamax 25's limit? I mean, if crushing limit. So it really depends. Like, it's not only about the chip V, but the amount of volume you put in. So yeah, basically, I would consider it like, okay, an average reg that is crushing 25s and could possibly play 50s, right? Should be making around between 2 and 4k in total profit, I guess. Maybe a bit more. But there are some people I've heard that play like 10,000 games a month and make around 10k a month. So that's doable as well, but you have to play like a shit ton of tables, 8 tables at least. So it really varies, you know. I could probably make close to that amount, maybe like maybe 6k stably, or like 7k with red diamond 2 and pushing a big volume, playing 8 tables as well. So yeah, it's, but if you cannot move up to 50s, right, and you have the status of, let's say, diamond 4, diamond 5, the realistic expectations would be up to 4k and more like 3k realistically. Hey mate, good luck, good luck. Red diamond 2 is nice, makes it much easier for 100s. How did the Euro promotion go for you? So yeah, playing 100s means that I can now finally play more than 1,700 games in 100s a month, which is really nice, because the rakeback is maximized then. About the promotion, I hated it. I had one of the worst months in my career. From the promotion in total, I made, I think, 1,200 between 2 limits, so 800 from 950, I think, from 50s, because I got to the bonus of 500, I think, and 300 from 100s. But the field was so reg infested, and I started playing really badly. And what happened is that my profit went down like this, right? Like 7k down in a span of like 2 weeks or so, which was really, really annoying. It was record breaking. The worst period I had before was probably like 4k down, and it was in December or November. I cannot remember exactly which month was it, but I mean, it was horrible. Like, so this month was really, like, previous month was really crushing mentally, but now we're back. It's a new month, new beginning. The field is way better. So yeah, I hated that promotion. If I knew that the field would get so horrible, I would probably move to PokerStars or whatever, because the promotion definitely didn't pay off, even though it's additional rakeback, but it was not significant enough to cover my losses, basically. So yeah. What was your chippy V in first month of school? I think it was quite bad. I played in PokerStars then on 5S, and I think it was like 60 or 50, I think. Yeah, it was quite low. I think it was 50. Yeah, and I struggled to get out of 5S for quite a long time. Basically, it took me 3 months, I think, or so, which is definitely not nice. But after that, it went smooth sailing, and I was moving up the limits consistently, which is nice. But yeah, the beginning was quite hard. Learning the strategy, learning the ranges, etc. And the pressure, the financial pressure, right? Because you want to make money as well. And I mean, I was doing full time from 5S, which you can imagine is quite hard. You know, I didn't play in a pool, and I didn't have an EV deal then. I'm not sure if it was an option playing these low limits. It probably was, but I didn't take it. So every swing was really, really painful and so on. I was playing low volume, so that means the swings hit way harder, etc. So yeah. But eventually I figured things out, so, you know, it was nice. Hello, who was your first poker coach in this table? It was Mindaugas. I'm not, I think he's still playing, but I haven't seen him in a pool. But he stopped being a coach after coaching me for like half a year, maybe, or so. I think something like that. Then I had another coach who coached me for like another half a year, and then I got another coach, which probably lasted for a year or so. And then Erica started coaching me. Yeah. Yes, same here. If I knew we would only get the 140 goals, I would have skipped it also. After 1 week, field was insanely reg heavy. Yes, exactly. Like, I started off like really great. The month started really nicely. After first week, I was completely crushing it, made like 4K in profit or so, which was really nice. And then the, the people started playing from the promotion, and it was like insane. And yeah, so yeah, it's 140 goals. So that means like if you got all the possible flags, you would only get to the second, yeah, like the second from the top cash out, which, like, I mean, it's still quite low. And to do that, you need to play nitros basically, or like play absurd amount of volume, which is only possible probably in like 50s. And it definitely didn't pay off if you did that even. So yeah, this promotion is absolute bullshit. Even though, like, the previous 2 times that it happened, it was way better. I'm not sure why, but it was way okay. I'll bet small. Maybe he'll call me with like queen 10 or whatever. I could have bet the flop as well, but it was a bit tricky. Either way, yeah. But so yeah, next time I'm probably, if I see the field is so reg infested, I'll probably go to another site to play, like PokerStars or whatever, or take a month off instead, or wait to promotion to end or whatever. But yeah, it's just not worth it. But what is your nickname, by the way? Team Bass, because I saw your videos, but I forgot the nickname. Would love to have backdoors here, but I would call anyway. 2 overcards. Okay, and this is where we stop. What is your mindset on the table? For example, what do you think most of the time? What's the opponent card's pot odds, or how can you bluff him later on in turn or river? I'm curious because my mindset changes as much as I'm new to school. So for me, it changes quite a lot as well. It depends on, like, in the mood I am, because sometimes, you know, you're crushing and everything, your draws always get there, the bluffs go through, you know, it works perfectly. Then you're really like confident in your game, you're not afraid of bluffing in random spots or whatever. But so you always need to think, like, I think the most important thing you need to be aware of is reading the ranges properly, like adjusting your game plan based on your opponent's ranges, especially against fishes, you know, understanding, like, because fishes have really polar strategy when they're playing, right? Sometimes they have like a really aggressive fish, right, who always uses big sizings, right, on the flops. They see bet really huge sizings. They always pot bet. They open up with 3x. They always inflate the pots insanely, and then suddenly, for example, they bet small on a really dry board. That usually means that they're really like strong and they really want to get a call. And the exact opposite is the truth when they're bluffing, right? They'll use big sizings and so on. So you need to make these adjustments, and it's a skill that you need to learn, right? It takes time, and you need to, the more you play, the more tables you play, the more volume you put in, the more situations you see, and then it's way easier to get the mindset in the right space. And the thinking process comes with time, basically. And yeah, I don't count pot odds that much, and I know them like by heart, like what, so I don't need to calculate them as much. Sometimes I do mistakes, of course, as well, but still. But you need to, like, first you think of, like, every time you need to think, okay, I'm betting and what I'm representing, what's my story, right? Basically, you always need to have a story when you're playing with your hand. And if the story doesn't add up, you'll get good hero calls from your opponents, and you'll get punished for it. For how long you playing poker? So I'm playing, or actually 3 days ago it turned 4 years since I signed my first deal with the school. So yeah, it's been like, time flies by, you know. It's been 4 years, which is quite hard to uh, comprehend. I've learned poker when I was 11 years old, so I started playing with my friends then, and started playing online when I turned 18. But started my professional career when I was 20, so 4 years ago. That's unfortunate. He had ace queen here, really punished us. Who's the best poker players in Spinago? So it really depends what you consider best. And I'm not really aware of other sites like PokerStars or GG. I'm not really familiar with the regs and top regs there. I can only tell like the Venomax ones, and like Otimus is really great, right? Pulsas, the nickname 400 IQ talent, right? Probably one of the top regs in the field. MZ is, I heard, or at least the graphs that he's posted are really insane, so he's probably one of the best as well. Titas is really great, right? He's a monster at playing, basically, volume-wise, skill-wise, etc. So yeah, these are the ones that I named, but at least I'm aware of. No one shares like the high stake graphs that much, so it's really hard to know who's the best and who's making the most, who's breaking even, and just ego doesn't let him go to lower limits or whatever. So you know, it's everyone tries to hide the results basically, so it's quite hard to know for sure. You need to be really integrated in the community, and you need to know people personally. So, and I'm not that type of person. I don't know that many people from poker community except just people from the stable. So you know, yeah, I missed 10 euro at the 550s from Germany on their first game, as they had 5 goals. Lol. Last time the promo ran, it made full way to the 240 goals and was much better if I remember correctly. Oh, Jelly Baby, okay. Yeah, we play quite a bit. Yeah, we actually do. But have you just moved to Venomax, or you had a different nickname before? But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if last time it made to like the complete maximum bonus, but either way, like I didn't miss like the first first game. I got both golden flags, but still I made probably in total after like the promo ended, I made like what, like 150 or more goals in total. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But I played between limits. Like if I could turn back time, I would probably go down to like 25s even, just to make money during the promo. Like play a shit ton of games, get a little bit of rake back, additional rake back, and crush the games themselves. I'm not sure, maybe the 25s was the reg infested as well, but still I would probably get like 50 GPV there, yeah, anyway. But yeah, okay, I'll bet big. I'm not sure if I should have done that, but yeah. As expected, during the summer, not that many people. What? It's showing the ads? Okay. But yeah, I don't expect a lot of people to join in. That's why I canceled the stream last week. Because it's summer, people are doing nice things, and in the last week it was really hot. And yeah, I'm not sure if it's worth streaming, but a lot of regular stream watchers join in, so I do it because of that. But yeah, I'm really surprised. Do you guys see ads on Twitch as well? Because for me, like I have it on the side as well. I usually use Restream to check the chat, but now I checked the Twitch, and 2 ads popped in a row, which is really, really strange. I never seen that happen, so. Team Bass, I saw your new short video had not a financial advice in it. Did you get in trouble for your YouTube poker tips or what? I think it's just required, maybe by law. Maybe if you don't want to get deleted or whatever. Maybe it's required. I'm not sure. Otherwise, it might be taken down. But I now really want to see that video though. Okay, let's open up. Hopefully he doesn't shove. And of course he does. What's the minimum of time a newbie should practice poker a day to become a winning spin player? What do you think? It really depends what do you consider winning, basically. I mean, if you're breaking even, you're at least a bit breaking even, you're making money, right? Then you're a winning player. Like, and it depends if you're doing it on your own or if you're in a stable. If you're on your own, like the poker is such a hard game, like not only like skill-wise but mentally as well. So the more time you put in, the more you see your results come in. Basically what I mean by that variance can hit you hard, and in short term you won't see results from your work. So yeah, but the consistency is the key. The more often, like I would probably prefer to like spend an hour every day instead of like 2 days a week or like, I don't know, 6-7 hours. I mean, it really depends from person to person. Some people take information like way better if they do a long session of studying, and for me for example, I prefer to study and play as often as I can, right? That increases. Okay, I don't have any backdoor, so I'll fold right away. If you would start from zero, what poker room would you choose and why? Probably GG now, but I'm not sure. It really, like, GG seems like really action heavy and it's reg battle heavy. It's easy to play a lot of volume and improve. Winamax is in the long term, and if you don't get a status, it's quite hard, right, to make a bunch of money. So it's better to play on other sites and then move to Winamax after. Okay, I'll bet after some time, right? They can give you a status and so on. So basically, yeah, probably GG right now, maybe PokerStars, but I'm not sure. I think PokerStars is not as nice now, because when you move up the limits, what happens is that there's not that many action. The player pool is lower every day, so you know, the future on PokerStars is not guaranteed, basically. What kind of music do you listen while you play, and do you think that music affects your play? So usually, like 99% of the time, I don't listen to any music. I did listen to music when I was playing in Bali because I couldn't focus otherwise. There's a lot of people talking in the background, so I prefer to listen to something, but it distracts me, especially if I listen to something with lyrics. So I prefer to play in silence, and it helps me focus. I prefer to play in silence and in the dark as well. So yeah. Okay. What are your hobbies? What do you do in your free time? Yeah, so now I only basically, most of the time I play paddle. Now during the summer I didn't play at all, but yeah, from hobbies I only play paddle, and during the regular season, right, not the summer season, I go to pub quizzes as well regularly, but that's about it. I don't have that many hobbies. If I mean, if drinking at the bar with friends is a hobby, then I do that as well, but apart from that, not that much. But I'm planning to start going to the gym, and hopefully I'll start doing it. I'm getting out of shape really fast, and hopefully it boosts my energy levels too. Maybe confidence as well. Yeah, there are ads on Twitch. It's unskippable, and ad block does not stop it. Yeah, and it sucks. Like I was really surprised that ad block does not work on it, because it popped for me as well. Maybe they changed it something right now, and the ad block is not blocking it, but I'll bet right away. I was supposed to check, but either way, it doesn't matter. You need Twitch Turbo now to watch ad-free new thing from them to earn money, I think. Oh wow, okay. Makes sense. How much is it? Like probably like €5, like a subscription or what? A month? What other benefits does it give you? Like a free subscription to a channel probably, or what? Since you're good at poker, do you think you'd be good at chess? So I used to play chess before, but I never study it, you know. I don't know any like the opening moves. Like I know the basics, I know the basic openings, but I don't know openings for like 10 moves up front. And the highest elo I've been, it was probably like 1,500 on league chess, I think, or so. But you know, I became good at poker just because there's money, it's incentive basically. I was good at CSGO and League of Legends as well. Like, not really good at League of Legends. I made Diamond and that's it. I mean, it's probably top 10% of the player base, but still. And I was global elite in CSGO. But yeah, you know, it was far. I could never turn pro in these games. Okay, why are you betting big? I'll call one more street, but I'll fold on the river. He decides to jam. What is this? If he jammed, it would have been so easy, but I'll fold. He snapped limbs, so he should be weak. It's easy to get a fold. I'll jam. Okay, let's build our stack up. Okay, nice. Okay, so he's quite loose. Did not expect King Deuce to show. I mean, it's a standard shove, but from fishes it's not as common. Especially the way that he played it three-handed, he played quite passively, so I was really surprised that he was a bit aggressive here. Wow, we got 2 fishes. It's insane. Did not expect that. Okay, after this game we'll try to play a few hundreds. It's like €12 a month. What? Are you serious? What is that? I want to turn this into a bluff or not. I really don't want him to bet on the river after I check back. Okay. What do we beat? We beat 5-6 that we block. I'll be really aggressive here. Okay, we got it through. I was thinking about checking back, but the problem is the fishes overplay their second pairs and bottom pairs. So what might happen is that I check back and I lose to these overplayed hands. So yeah, I think it's better to turn this into a bluff, especially if the river is an overcard to the 2 bottom pairs. And he seemed weak after the check back. I don't think he would stop with a jack. He's quite aggressive and quite a fast player, it seems. But I'll still bet 1 big blind. I'll continue bluffing. I don't need to use such a big sizing here. I want to save a bit money. Okay, so he contemplated before calling, which is nice. We should get... Wow, okay, never mind. I was about to say we should get an easy fold here, but maybe he, like, I'm really curious if he got it or not, because like, I cannot tell. He was thinking before calling on the turn, so he might have like decided maybe he wanted to raise me with a flush draw or so, and he got there on the river. So yeah. Okay, let's check. Okay, let's tank a bit, and hopefully we get the check back and an ace. A 3. Sometimes small sizing is enough after, okay, he calls. Wow, ace queen, then definitely do not expect that. Wanted to pull the 5 or a 3. I mean, he has some. Oh shit, I forgot him to switch limits. Oh well, it doesn't matter. How did you felt experience your first longer negative variance, for example, a week or a couple of days? So the worst variance, I mean, maybe it's not as variance as much as me playing poorly and making stupid decisions and playing in a reg infested field, but last month was really crucial. I mean, it was really hard mentally. You know, I mean, some people don't give a shit about variance and bad results and whatever. For me, it quite affects me quite heavily mentally. You know, it's really... Okay, I'll bet smaller. But yeah, it's just really mentally draining, and like what the worst part about it is that for me, I always like get a huge imposter syndrome after like a week of bad results and bad run or whatever. I start to think that I don't know how to play. I play really carelessly and I don't think about the spots too much. With and what ends up happening, I start fast playing my value too much. I don't bluff as much, and yeah. Okay, let's check. He has a lot of 5s in his range. Okay, we have absolutely nothing. But with a 5, definitely would be betting big. Okay, we got the fold, which is nice. Okay, after this game, I need not forget to switch the limits. But yeah, people who just joined in, feel free to ask any questions. But yeah, we're having that stream run again. I mean, not only run, made some bad bluffs, but the run was quite bad as well. I'm checking the graph and it's horrible. We played without this game 8 games with minus 144 chippy V. Okay, he decides to call with Queen Jack, flipping again. Quite close. I mean, not quite. Okay, let's jam again. Hopefully we won't be called, we won't be dominated again. For those that are in our stable, hopefully you're coming to the camp in August. I think it's August 5th. I think it's one of the best motivators there is. And it really builds up your motivation after you spend like 3 days with your peers. Okay, let's jam. King 9 is never a fold. It's always an open up or even either a jam. Is 5 off. Let's jam. Okay. If he has ace king, the stream arm is doomed. King 10, finally we're ahead. Maybe this tournament will be in a profit, finally. So even with EV deal, variance can continue very long. It really depends on, like, if you're playing in the limit that you're crushing, then like variance doesn't affect you that much. You will still have profitable months most of the time. Like I didn't have a negative or break-even month for like 2 years because I was playing the limits that I'm capable of playing. But you know, if you're playing, let's say, in a reg infested field, right? Like the last month was really horrible field wise. Or if you're playing above your skill level, you shoot up the limits too quickly. Then yeah, these things can happen. But if you're like just playing, like if I move down to 25s, I would probably never be able to have a negative month. Even in 50s, if I'm playing like without tilting or other bullshit, if my mental state is great, then it's quite unrealistic for me to have a negative month or break even a month. In hundreds it's a bit different because my skill level is not as like good, and mentally it's way harder because the field is way tougher, because you get way less fishes and you need to battle for the spot in the field. So yeah, but so it really varies. But on the lower limits, if you're playing according to your skill level, you should be fine. Did you lost minus 7k EV plus regback or net one? It was in EV plus rayback, full EV plus rayback. I was up 4k in the beginning of the month, and I lost 7k, and I was negative 3k. But then I made the month a slightly in profit after, like, I played quite a, like, you know, really good results in the last few days of the month, and made back like above 2k in profit. So the month ended at like, I don't know, 500 euros in profit, maybe a bit more. Okay, we're breaking even in this spot against this guy. So after this game, we're moving up to hundreds. I'll have a short toilet break and I'll be back. Okay, fold. Okay, basically flipping, which is fine. And we lost. Okay, be right back, and don't go away. We'll go up, we'll go to 100 death. shit, I was talking to myself. I forgot to turn on the mic. Anyway. Yeah, so did you adapt to new limits when you just first started playing? So yeah, I was like quick to adapt right away, usually. Maybe 100S was a bit difficult, but most of the time I didn't have any problems with that. Because I was really motivated, right? I was really motivated and I was really focused while playing. Because, you know, like, the only problem is that whenever you move up a limit, the stress rate rises as well. Because your losses are double and a bit more. Possible losses are doubling. And usually they're like 2.5xing on a bad day because the field is like the players are better and you get less fishes. The fishes are better as well. So it's not like your losses increase 2x, 2.5x for example, or whatever, but your profit increases slightly, right? It goes like up 1.5 times or whatever. So it's a bit harder mentally each time you move up limits. I mean, in the beginning, like moving up from 5S to 25S is quite fine because, I mean, the amounts that you're losing are small. There's still plenty of fishes that are doing stupid shit, so it's way easier. But the higher you go, the harder it gets, so... We can't hear you. Yeah, I figured that. Good thing I like noticed it at the right time, otherwise it would have been... I would have been really pissed if I did it for like half an hour. But yeah. Okay, let's fold. Hi bro, any advice for multi-tabling more tables? I want to play 6 tables. Greetings from Argentina. Greetings back from Lithuania. So my advice would be like, I'm not sure how many tables you're playing currently, but basically it's like adding 1 table every now and then. So what I would first do is I was playing always 2 tables, then I moved up to 3 tables. I got really comfortable in like a week playing 3 tables. Then I moved up to 4, and I played 4 for quite a while until they changed the format in Venemax. But what you need to do, like whenever you add a table, right? So first off, start the session with your regular amount of tables. When you get warmed up, so let's say half an hour or so, add 1 more table. And after that, like play with that for like, I don't know, like half a session. And go back maybe to like, if you don't feel really comfortable, go back down to like the regular amount of tables you're playing and repeat that until you never need to start off the session with the 5 tables, for example, instead of 4. But like easiest way to do it is like, let's say you want to play 6 tables, you load up 6 tables, but you don't reload them instantly, right? Instead you play all the 3-way spots casually. So you lose some tables and you have like 4 heads up. So you don't load the next table until at least 1 heads up ends. So yeah, that helps a lot as well to not like lose too much too fast. I really hate the spot, so basically he has probably a 6. I don't think he's like, wow, he bets for value now. I don't expect the 6 to do that. He might have a jag, but either way, I'll maybe 6-7. I don't feel really comfortable calling this. Because if he's really greedy, he can do that, but a 6 for sure as well. But that's really, really greedy. let's jam. Okay, let's fold. Okay, let's jam. Okay, we're ahead. Great. Okay, we're back on track. We got crushed in 50s. Hopefully we get some money back on hundreds. I checked, we didn't lose that much. We lost like 100 euros or so in 50s. Okay, so this is the big sizing. Nice. I mean, he would have called anyway, but I think we got slightly more money out of him. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to call the jacks though. Maybe I'm supposed to shove them. I'll check the ranges. Because I would not be surprised the jacks are willing to shove right away on top. But we'll see. So against big ISO versus ISO 3.5x. Jacks is just a call, but kings and aces are shoving. Which is really, like, I know that, but it's really surprising. Like, the lower ones are shoving and the top ones are shoving, but the middle ones, like jacks and tens, are always calling. I wonder why that is and what is exactly blocking, or it's just a bit weird. Maybe they have more bluffs because you block like king 10, king jack, these types of hands, like queen jack, other bullshit hands. Maybe that's why. What do you think is the most important change to go from 10s to 25s? So there's like, I don't think like you can define exactly like what makes you one limit reg and not the other. Like if you want to improve, it's better to lower the tables a bit and focus on like the chippy V and quality of the game, and then move up when your strategy is really solid and it's easy for you to autopilot other tables, you know, make good basic decisions always. But I think like in any limit, like it depends on which side you're playing. If you're playing a lot of regs, you need to study a bit more reg game. For example, on Winamax, it's a bit different. On Winamax, you get plenty of fishes, so all the money comes from exploiting the fishes. And to do that, you need to know how to read ranges. In my opinion, this is the most important part, right? Knowing exactly what sizing he uses with what cards, if he uses the sizing with value only or bluffs, etc. Like reading the range and knowing how to extract small, thin value out of your opponents without getting shoved on or whatever. How to keep in bluffs, how not to fast play, or when to fast play against certain opponents, right? It's like making really hard adjustments against your opponents based on their stats and the way they play, the timings as well. Like it gives you a huge edge, and like no amount of studying will GTO will help you to like take out of absolute maximum out of random fishes, you know. So it's really important. Okay, let's check back. What is rig back on what is the rig back percentage on red diamond? So with red diamond 1, if I'm playing hundreds, I get 49% rig back, or like 2 bonuses. After that, it falls to like 41 or 42, 43%, I think. On 50s, it's a bit lower because you get, percentage-wise, you get lower rig back because you need more points for the leaderboards, min cash, and it's quite hard to get more rig back from the leaderboards. On hundreds, you can get like up to a 5th place in hundreds, you know, maybe even more if you play a lot of volume that day. So yeah, and with red diamond 2, I would probably get like 50% and a bit more, 51, if I cashed 2 bonuses. I'm playing only hundreds. But yeah, it's like it's a huge increase from, like, if you're going from diamond 5 to red diamond 1, it's 20% increase in your like salary or like profit during the month. which is really insane. If you're like just cashing the bonuses, which is absolutely insane and ridiculous. Like what kind of like advantage? So let's say you're playing, I don't know, you're playing 50s, and on average month you make like 5k a month with diamond 5, and now you start playing with the red diamond, you get 1k more, right? Which is a huge increase, right? When you think about it, if you be in like a job and shit. Why shoving kings, aces versus 3.5x? So because it probably blocks a lot of like king x and aces combos. I mean, yeah, it doesn't make sense to me too as well, because that would mean that there are way more bluffs, right, in your opponent's range. But I think the problem is that to be honest, I have no clue what's the logic behind it. I really don't know. It's really surprising, but probably the way the range balances out, and that on a lot of outcomes you won't get enough action, or you won't get called often enough. I don't know. Okay, so let's see about here. We got like we're getting fishes, which is absolutely lovely. I'll definitely be playing a lot after the stream. I'll probably stream for like another 20 minutes. And that will be it for today, because as always, like people are fired up in the beginning, and then would you say 50s is much harder than 25s or not? So I think every limit is harder when you're moving up, right? It's definitely the case. There's no, it would be like, I don't think the field is that much different. Like I think the difference between 50s and 100s is way bigger than between 25s and 50s, like field wise especially, because on 50s, on Venomax at least, you get way more action, like way more action. So, and you get like a lot of, like if you're, even if there are like 3-4 regs in the field, you still get like 2 fish tables from time to time. So there's a huge difference on, like if you're playing on hundreds and there's like 3 regs or 4 regs, like 4 regs in total, you most likely won't see a fish for like half an hour, like one table in like, I don't know, 20 games or so will be with one fish. So yeah, I don't think there's a huge difference between, I mean, the regs are better, you get way less fishes, the fishes are not as crazy, but then happens every time you move up a limit. Maybe there's not like a seeable like difference between 1 and 5s. Maybe on 5s there's a bit less fishes, and there are a bit more regs, because no reg plays on 1s and 2s most of the time, right? That are unstable, because you move up that quickly. It's really too easy to get out of these limits. So, you know. Okay, let's check back. I'm not sure which sizing I should be choosing. I could be checking back as well, but I was not sure if I should be polarizing myself or not, because it's quite hard. Like if I'm betting big sizing, that means I'm repping only like certain range, which is harder to represent on the river. But the lower sizing, it's a bit easier, and sometimes by betting smaller sizings, you get way more folds. Okay, let's jam. This guy seems quite nitty, so we should be jamming a bit wider than usually. He will fold way more. Nines are good enough to open up. Wow. That's a big sizing. I mean, I'll believe him. He doesn't have that many aces in his range, but he can have queens for sure that I don't have. What would you mainly focus on for the first time with a solver? How the ranges work and like how to play certain board types, like what boards to see bet and like what sizings to use. Like especially like the button makes you the most money, right? And like focus on heads up is more probably, because heads up is one of the like you make all the money in heads up most of the time, right? It's the most profitable part of the spinning goes. But yeah, like solving in a heads up is a bit different. For me, it's like easier to play heads up. Like in three-way spots, I struggle a lot. I didn't study them nearly as much. So yeah, but like it's quite hard. It really depends on where you're leaking. For some people, some things are really like common sense, and for others, it's like I think like they don't understand how to do that. So, but yeah, it's like really hard to give advice on this exact question. Like yeah, what size, what type of sizings there are, and what do they represent? Because there are some like sizings where you should never use, for example, and right, like it's a huge mistake. For example, see betting on monotone board, like I don't know, the board is Jack Jack Deuce, and you're from a small blind and a limp pot, and the check back will, on that board will be insanely high. You almost never see bet that board, right? In a limp pot. And knowing that, like not doing that mistake, you save a lot of money. So it varies a lot. But generally, what you do with a solver, you just solve the hands that you don't know how to play correctly. Knowing the check raising spots, knowing the sizings, standard sizings to use. Okay, so this is probably a fish, never seen this guy. But we'll see. So I could definitely shove this. I'll limp instead. For example, this is never a limp. It's always a shove, I think, but okay, nice. It worked out. He was block betting with ace. What do you think it would take for a player to reach high stakes 100s and 500s? So it takes a lot of like I think it takes a lot of talent as well, like being generally good in like puzzle solving, logic, and like being good at games, right? Data analysis, and so it really helps out. I mean, you don't need to necessarily be a data genius or so, but it definitely helps. The other is like mental stability. A lot of like high stake players that I met personally are really like unbothered and not overthinkers. Like they're not like overthinking type like I am, for example. They're like quite chill and not really bothered by a lot of things. So yeah, they're not usually tilting type. What else? Mm, having exact goals, having like this type of ego or like competitiveness and loving the game as well helps a lot. Or being really incentivized by money. But yeah, these are the main, and studying a lot and letting go of your beliefs and ego helps a lot too, because especially when someone is coaching you, letting go of like and start changing your gameplay based on what your coach tells you helps immensely. And the faster you change your game based on uh, your coach's advice, the faster you improve and your results improve as well. So these would probably the main tips, at least if you're like playing mid stakes or so, even if you're playing the lowest stakes. Like not getting attached to your results and looking at the long term as well. I notice that I'm not as creative with my gameplay anymore as I used to be the more I study. And I cannot say that it helps with my game dramatically too. It'd be nice to win this one. Okay. Call. Not a really nice flop. I would call a smaller sizing, but in ISO pod, this is not really good. I mean, I could definitely call with some backdoors, but okay. Not a big fan of this board, but a big fan of the turn. Okay, nice. Great card for us. Really bad card on the river. He has better tens, maybe. Should be more greedy in betting, but that's why I didn't want to, because he rarely like donks his dribs there, so that means that he has a lot of sevens because he never probes them. Yeah, we got the maximum value from on the turn, but sadly he got lucky on the river. At least we didn't. At least we didn't jam. I was our bet, you know. Is autopiloting more profitable than quality playing, do you think? No, like the more quality, the more profit you have. It really depends on what your goals are. If you're playing for the long term, right? If you don't care about short term profit, then like if you're like, especially if you're playing on Winamax, if you expect to hit a jackpot, then hold on a second. What he can have? Flush. That's about it, is it? Two pair, 9-6, 10-6. 4.6 maybe. Yeah, if he was bluffing, congratulations to him. Gotta induce him myself with that small sizing. But yeah, autopiling is not the key to go. But I mean, if you want to move up the stakes, you cannot autopilot because you need to improve, right? And if you just play without thinking, you're just like making money now, but in the long term you'll probably suffer, and your skill will degrade if you consistently like play on autopilot, right? And you never try to focus on your game. Okay, so this will be the last game of today. I'll show you the graph of our stream session afterwards, because people are not as engaged anymore. So yeah. But yeah, I'm still surprised. A decent amount of people joined in, given the fact that it's summer. Okay, let's check. He bets. We have a good kicker. We could raise, but I'll just call. I wonder, maybe GTO never calls, never raises here. We'll have to see. I mean, it really depends on the stats that he has. Okay, let's check back. Can definitely have some aces here. He has a 10. Okay, makes sense. I mean, still. Okay. Let's bet. We're calling here, of course. A 9 or a deuce would be lovely. He's only representing a 5. Of course he has 4 or 5. I mean, yeah, I can have flushes as well, but I expected to see, like, it's possible for him to have, I don't know, queen 7, for example, these types of hands. Can we get for our last game a few combos of pocket aces? This is not pocket aces, guys. Just jam. Oh my god, really? Okay, it's time to come back. Never mind, it's not. Okay, let's check our graph of today. And this will be it for today. So we're using Poker Tracker, Pure Tracker, I mean. So, ouch, that was painful. The last game was painful. Before that, we had like 100 GPV in the 4 games. But let's type in our rig back, 14 or 49. The losses won't be as great. It's 134, which is not bad, but definitely could be worse. The 50s were crucial. I mean, really bad for us, but hundreds were fine until the last game where we made some bad calls, questionable calls to be honest, but and we played him off with his value hands. Other than that, it's a standard stream run, I guess. I'll wait till we have a profitable stream. Anyway, what helps you to stay positive? Has your mindset improved much overall in life and poker compared to now, or to when you just started playing poker? So what helps me stay positive is like long-term goals, you know, and just being good at something. You know, it's nice to be really good at one particular thing that you worked for, you know, being better than others. That's nice. And the mindset improved. Yeah, I changed my lifestyle a bit. You know, in the first 2 years of playing, I was like really focused on like just playing and not going out, not doing social activities, and that was quite a big mistake. My results improved dramatically when I started having day offs and not like punishing myself for not playing. It improved my gameplay as well. You know, I was not as burned out. But yeah, so it improved, but there are other problems. You know, like it's like been 4 years, so that means it's getting boring a bit. You know, it's the same thing all over again every single day. You know, spins are not like really exciting poker format to play if you don't hit jackpots or like a big multipliers, which I never had. But yeah, other than that, it's more stable than MTTs, for example, and it's more profitable and easier to play than cash games, but it's not as time consuming, but it has some downsides as well. It's like being in a factory sometimes, you know, just pressing 3 buttons the whole day, 8 hours a day for 4 years is it gets to your head sometimes, you know, you need to have some breaks. But yeah, anyway, thanks for joining in, guys. Hopefully to see you next week, and yeah, I'm not sure if I'm streaming next week. Oh yeah, I'm not, sadly, and I'll be away for, yeah, so 2 weeks without streams, but I'll be back on 25th with a stream. Anyway, good luck at tables, guys, and see ya.